So why am I not going to buy the new Robo Toys Waspinator? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it's FOMO. FOMO is building in me, and I feel like I'm gonna miss out. Because here's the thing, it's actually a really good figure. And I've seen forum posts, I've seen comments, and it seems like everybody likes it. I don't know if I think they might have one or two under their belt. It's relatively cheap. It's $115 in Show Z store, probably around 125 on most online retailers that sell in the United States. That's not that much of a difference. Like, I expect about $20 to $30 more price when you're buying from like or maybe even TF Source at the low end. Usually they're a little more expensive. Agabus, places like that. Even Amazon sometimes will have third-party Transformers figures at a decent price, through third-party sales. But the point I'm trying to make is that this is a really good figure, and I am just at this cross point where I'm just like, I want to buy it, but I can't. I can't buy it because while I would say, a moderate Beast Wars fan, I do have a Beast Wars shelf with some key characters and room for maybe one or two other characters. But then other than that, I don't have any other representation of Beast Wars in my collection. I don't have a need to have all the Beast Wars. I own no masterpieces of Beast Wars. I did buy basically, I think, all of the core robots for Beast Wars that were released by Hasbro. But for the most part, when I stop and think about it, even though I do have all the characters. I have Dinobot, I have Black Naraki, I have Rat Trap, I have Rhino. I have all those Chug Kingdom figures, and they're all really, really good. Every single one of them is good. I have Waspinator, it's a really good figure. For a $20 deluxe, it's a good figure. And then I see this thing, and this isn't the first time somebody has come out with a Waspinator figure that's been extremely well done. I think there was that one that came out a couple years ago that was like a helicopter, so it wasn't necessarily turned into its Wasp form, but it was Waspinator, like reimagined as like a helicopter or something like that. And it looked really good, and it was like, people talked and said it was very good. And yet FOMO didn't really hit me on that one as much. But I think when it comes down to it, and I think this might be even a larger, but as it comes back to that Waspinator, as I was discussing, it's really good. I really want it, but no, don't do it. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. And it is like a strong FOMO for me to like want to buy this figure and want to like play with it and unbox it on camera for you guys and show it off and take pictures and post it on Instagram and Threads and do a transformation video and do all this crazy stuff with it. Then it'll sit on my shelf. It might, maybe this is a figure that could go on my Beast Wars shelf. Maybe Waspinator is that missing piece. Because right now, that shelf includes 3 Megatrons, 2 Primals, and a Black Narak from Transmetal Art. And I only bought it because it was on sale for $30 on Show Z store. I also go, it's not a great figure. It's really not. It's very fiddle. And I can see why Transarts just disappear, and that is probably the only masterpiece figure that I really have for Beast Wars, because everything else is like Chug or G1-ish. I guess I always would say Beast Wars is still part of G, even though there are some people out there that might argue that against me. But I have the reissue Megatron, which was a text. I have the reissue Optimus Prime, and those are the only two that I kept, because back in, I think it was like 2021, 2022, when Hasbro started re-releasing, Beast Wars at Walmart's, and I think that's how they originally were released back in the 90s. I don't remember. Honestly, can't remember buying any of the original Beast Wars toys. I know I did, but I know I bought into Beast Machine. I love Beast Machine, and I got something brewing for that later this month. But when it comes to that Waspinator, I just say to myself, like, man, it's just so good. I'm like, it would look good on that shelf, but would it stand because everything else is Chug? And when I say, like, as I said, those original reissues of those Beast Wars figures they're quite large. They're definitely larger than the original G1 toys were. And then on top of that, I have the Transformers Legacy Dragon Megatron which is the Transmetals 2 version, I think is what it is. And then I have the Rise of the Beasts kind of Takara Optimus Primal that they released. So I have that. And then I have, it was gifted to me from Mr. J, and I've done a video on it, the Dragon Megatron from Beast Wars, where he's kind of like has like a cape and he's like hiding his dragon form. You know? And then and like I said, I have that Transmetal figure. And that's that shelf. I'm content with that shelf. You know, and as I said earlier, I have the Kingdom figures, and those are like in a kind of like, they're just packed away. You know, I don't really have any display space for them. Don't have a desire to every now and then pull them out, mess with them, but that's about it. And I just say to myself, like, and this isn't the only figure, but I think this is a figure when it's really good. And overall, people are like, man, this is a really good figure. Is it worth making the effort to buy it? Now, it's only, like I said, I could get it for $120, and it would probably be here when I go on vacation, which would kind of suck. I just like, it's FOMO. It comes down to FOMO. And I'm going to tell you downright, even though I do have a spot where he could technically go, and I would probably display him in his Wasp, maybe like a flight stand or something like that. But it's like, do I need it? And I think that's when it comes down to, and again, that's like another larger topic. Like, when it comes to collecting, when is it a moment to stop? And when does it stop? And I know for some of you watching this video, you're probably saying it never stops, never ends. Even when you think this is all I'm going to collect and I'm done, there's always more to collect. There's always something else to collect. There's always that grail that you're chasing. And I'll be honest with you, I have collected a lot of my grails or things that I want. I might make a video on that too. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see a video about that. But yeah, I think if you're a Beast Wars fan, and I don't think Takara has done Waspinator. They might have. I don't remember. But if you're a Beast Wars fan and you definitely collect Beast Wars, I think you'd be a fool to not get this Waspinator. This Waspinator is amazing. It makes me wonder who this company is and like what are they going to do next. Maybe they'll do all of them. Maybe they'll start pumping out more Beast Wars figures. I think for the Beast Wars community that would be, but I think that the only way that we can figure out if the FOMO is true or if this figure is even worth buying is probably checking out this next video right over here. And as always, guys, until next time.